Woo! Another thriving artist, I Heard Life Short, sitting here with my co-host, Rain Boom. How you doing, Rain Boom? Oh, you doing good? All right, cool. There you go. It is February 26th of starting out 2020, and today I want to talk about portfolio reviews. It's been a while since I had a portfolio review, and most of the time I share my portfolio with other artists and creatives, and they give me feedback. The biggest feedback I get is from my wife. She always checking out my works, checking out the artwork that I create for myself and for my clients, and she always has something to say about it. And what's cool about having somebody look at your work is that sometimes we fall in love with every piece of art that we make, whether it's personal or for business and clients. We kind of spend a lot of time with the artwork, and after a while you don't see the flaws. You see the details, you see the things that it took to get there, and so you need a fresh set of eyes to look at your work and then give you some feedback on it. And so most recently, the feedback that I've received has been two bits of feedback. One was a portfolio review, and really it was like it was a portfolio. It's two different portfolios though, and one of the portfolios was for children's book illustrations. And so they looked at my work, and based on my history, you can see a lot of my creative focus that in the past 20 years I've had towards tattoos, towards really hardcore artwork, and then there's a lot of remnants in that in my children's artwork, children's book artwork and illustrations that you can still see a little bit of that in this new kind of work, where it still needs some more refinement for it to be really, how should I explain it? So that it can really fit the type of artwork that people are looking for when it comes to children's books illustrations. There, I kind of got it out. The other art portfolio review was my Behance. So I actually had a study. I did a study where I submitted my portfolio. They did a review. They did a feedback. They did a, what do you call it? They had some people give feedback on my review. That's right, give feedback on my portfolio, and then based on that feedback, they shared it with me, and I was able to see whether what I want my portfolio to say about me is that what people are getting out of it when they look at my portfolio. And it's important that we have these kind of reviews because these are people who don't know you. You want people who don't know you, who don't know anything about you, to look at your portfolio and immediately let you know what is it that they see, what message do they get, and so that then you can figure out, well, what parts do you need to adjust to make sure it says what you want it to say. And so here's why we need to have portfolio reviews. And there's plenty opportunities for that, especially if you're in Atlanta. There's lots of organizations, and we have a CIFA and My Animation Life. And then there's a ton of artists that you can talk to and go to meetups and get to meet people who will sit down and have a conversation with you. And we'll review your portfolio. I've done lots of portfolio reviews for other artists. And there's a few things that we look for when doing a portfolio review. And these are the things that you want to hear from when someone reviews your portfolio. We're going to get to it. We're getting to it. Number one. Does your work reflect your creative field? One of the things that we do with our portfolios, we throw all the things that we like, and eventually it's a mess of a lot of stuff in there. And what you want is your portfolio to reflect the creative field that you're talking about. Where does your artwork go? We can all draw, all right? Everybody can draw. Everybody, all of the whole world, all right? That's it. Being an artist is not special. Get it out your system. Everybody can draw, but do you know where your drawings are going to go? Are they going to go on a film? Are they going to go on a cartoon? Are they going to go on a comic? Where is this artwork going? Is it going to merchandise, handbags, t-shirts? Where does it go? We need to know, where does the artwork go? And your portfolio will reflect that, because because the second part is presentation. How does your art look when finished, and how is your artwork used? A lot of times our portfolio is just a bunch of random images, and we got to show through our composition of this portfolio, where does the artwork going to end up at and where should it be, so that creative directors, art directors, and clients can then immediately recognize that you're the kind of artist they're looking for. Your portfolio should identify your target market. Who is your client? I mentioned art directors and creative directors. Those are my clients. Corporate brands. Those are my clients. I want corporate brands to look at my work and see how it fits in their marketing and their campaigns and even internal documents and advertisements, because that's the kind of level of client that I'm looking for, and I want my art to become part of a bigger message. My professional art that I get paid for. My personal art has a whole nother message that's separate. And lastly is the process. What are your creative steps from start to finish? So the portfolio also allows you a chance to show your work. Show what it takes when you start a project, what it takes to start the sketching. What are the challenges that you start with? What is the goal of this artwork? And how do you go about producing the steps and doing the steps that are going to take to get to the artwork out there? A lot of times people look at your work, they look at your talent, they're like, oh, but that took you 5 minutes to do. Why do you want to charge me $1,000? And that's because they don't see that process that it takes to get to those 5 minutes. It may be 5 minutes at the moment right now, but even still, for me to format and get the artwork ready for production, it's a long process that takes time, and it takes the knowledge and experience to be able to do it in a timely manner. And that's why we show our process. All right, so there's a few things. How does your work reflect your creative field? Identify your target market. Presentation, how does your art look when it's used? And what's your process? All right, this is DTM. Delta Tango Mike. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Find Rain Boom on Instagram somewhere. I forgot her Instagram right now, but you can check out some of her cool pictures. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think your portfolio should include, and who out there is doing portfolio reviews. I will try to add a couple of links so that you can see what's happening. My Animation Life does a lot of portfolio reviews during Dragon Con and at other events, and I think there's another one coming up very soon. So check them out. ASIFA South is also a great organization that helps artists refine their portfolio so they can find a creative field that they want to follow through on. All right, check me out. Art is King on YouTube, and on YouTube also find Vector Maestros, where I share a lot of digital drawing and demos and tutorials. All right, talk to you later. Delta Tango Mike. Rain Boom. Say bye-bye, Rain Boom. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, see y'all later.